Alright, let's learn how to select a scale. And in this case you're given a drawing to do, but you're not given a scale. So the first thing you really need to do is to measure the space that you're drawing in. So have a look at the space you've been asked to draw in and measure that up. Then compare this space that you need to fit it in to the real life dimensions of the shape or map that you're drawing. Okay, so compare the dimensions. And make sure you aim to choose a simple scale. So nice round numbers like 2, 5, 10, 50, 100, etc. Alright, not numbers like this, 1 centimetre to 7.358 metres. In fact, even if it was 1:7, you really should be looking at rounding off to, or going down to 1:5 or up to 1:10. Just makes it a bit easier for people to calculate. Okay, let's look at question 1. What you have to do here is to draw a large rectangular block of land, has a length of 50 kilometres and a width of 30 kilometres. You need to draw that in the space on page 16 of your Stage 3 booklet, in the top half I guess you could call it. So you're going to have to measure that space, look at the dimensions and try and make sure you fit it so that it fits it nicely. So it's not too small and not too big. Alright, press pause, have a go at that and press play when you're done. Or if you get stuck, if you're not sure, you can press play and have a look. Okay, the first thing to do is to measure the space, and before we look at that ruler, when I measured the space across, I got about 19 centimetres. So what I thought I might do is that 50 kilometres, I might use 10 centimetres to represent 50 kilometres. So I'm thinking at the moment I'm going to have 10 centimetres equaling 50 kilometres. Alright, so that's my length. We're going to try this and see if it's going to work. And I want to convert that to a scale now. So what scale is that? I'm going to divide by 10 and get 1 centimetre because I want it to be 1, the number 1 in a scale if possible. So I better divide the other side by 10 and I get 5 kilometres. So my scale is 1 centimetre is to 5 kilometres. So every centimetre is worth 5 kilometres. I'm going to keep trying that one. Now the other thing I need to be aware of is I need to fit the 30 kilometre side, the width in. Is that going to work? So I'm going to times by 6 because 5 kilometres times 6 is 30. So the centimetres will have to be times by 6 to get 6 centimetres. So it's going to have to be 6 centimetres. So is that going to fit? And when I measure the height of that space, it's about 8 or so centimetres, and I need to fit 6 in there, so actually that fits quite nicely. So that scale is going to work. It's not the only scale you can use. You could use others, but that does fill the space reasonably well. It's not ridiculously small, and it does fit. It's not too large either. So my scale was 1 centimetre is to 5 kilometres, and you could have had variations on that, but that did work. Okay, question 2, the bottom half of page 16. We've got a circle this time, so you'll need a compass to draw it, so you can draw a nice neat circle. It has a radius of 50 metres. Alright, I need to select a scale that ensures that the circle fits in the space. Have a go at that and draw the circle, press pause and play when you're ready. Okay, so again we're looking at measuring up the space. It's about 19 centimetres wide and the height is about probably 11 or 12 centimetres that I could fit it in. Now what I really need to know is what's the diameter. In real life the diameter is 100 metres. If the radius was 50 metres then the diameter is double that, 100 metres. So I need to fit 100 metres into about 18 or 19 centimetres when we look at the width across. Same with the height. Right, vertical height straight up and down. Okay, I need to fit 100 metres in there. Okay. So, when I look at it all and measuring it up, I think I again like the relationship between 10 centimetres and 100 metres, because 10 centimetres will fit across horizontally and vertically quite nicely. So I'm going to get 10 centimetres to represent 100 metres. That's going to work. Doesn't have to be this, but this will work. So I'm going to use the scale. What is this scale? I should be really using 1 where possible. I'm going to divide both those numbers by 10 to get the left-hand side down to 1. So every centimetre is 10 metres. That's what the scale is. Now, let's look at my radius. So I'm going to draw it using a compass. I need a radius size. Got to draw it now. I've got a scale. I'm going to times it by 5 because my radius was 50. So I should times my centimetres by 5 and get 5 centimetres. So my radius, when I draw it with a compass, is going to be 5 centimetres. So I get my compass against my ruler, measure out 5 centimetres, and then draw a nice circle. And it would look something like this, with a radius of 5 centimetres. There's a solution in your Stage 3 answer booklet. Unfortunately, when I've drawn a couple of circles, they didn't come out too well in the photocopier. I probably should have gone over them, but you can see it there as well if you want to check it. But your radius should be 5 centimetres. You can have a variation on that, and I've given another example again, but we're trying to use nice round numbers, and 1 is to 10. 1 centimetre to 10 metres is a good scale. Okay. All right, it's time for you to try it out and then go on to the next page, which would be page 17.